She's hard, man. She's a hard journalist.
Hello everyone, I'm here with Elaine Welteroth. So Elaine is a journalist, writer and former editor-in-chief of Teen Vogue. She's an incredible person, storyteller, and we are here to hear from her, to learn about your story, your experiences, and what advice you would have for young girls.
When I first got hired at Teen Vogue, I didn't know this at the time, but I would read in the news later that I was the first Black woman to ever have that leadership position. And it was a wake-up call for me. It really helped call into focus the significance of this opportunity. And it woke me up and made me realize that it was time for me to stop pretending to blend in when I didn't, no matter how hard I tried, and to stop playing by the rules and playing it so safe. Women and girls are often socialized, just play it safe. And I certainly did that up until that point. But when I had that opportunity, I thought, this is my chance to make a difference and to create a magazine that I needed when I was growing up to shape messages that I think the world needs more of for young girls and for young people. And so that's what I did. It was the best. It was the absolute. It was a. I got a rush from breaking the rules and pushing stories that hadn't been told before, or hadn't been told as in a nuanced way and in ways that I would appreciate.
I wonder, because we always talk about the good things and achievements. What are the things that you felt like we should avoid, or we should be careful of, we should consider, or some of the things that you were not expecting in your life and that happened? I don't know, a bit of that kind of advice.
Look at Malala going deep.
Very deep.
Oprah, watch out. This is such a great question, and I guess I would say, this is very personal, I would say, it can be very easy to let someone else's agenda become your agenda, specifically as relates to romantic relationships. Once you get involved with someone that you fall in love with, I think you have to be careful about making sure that your dreams don't get lost. And
that's an advice to me as well.
Because Malala's in her first year of college. There are boys there, although Malala's dad's dating advice is the best dating advice, which is first year, don't talk to anyone. Second year, you can say hi. Third year, you can get coffee.
Yeah, you can just talk, have a cup of tea or coffee. And fourth year, you would have finished your university, and then you bring the boy to home, and then my dad and my mom would decide.
Yeah.
That's their advice.
So you know what? That's actually the best advice that anyone could give, so I'm going with that.
Yeah. So Elaine, thank you so much for joining me and coming with me to Brazil. I'm turning 21 and I'm celebrating it with the indigenous girls in Brazil and Afro-Brazilian girls, and highlighting the issues that girls are facing here. So first of all, thank you so much for coming and joining me.
Thank you for having me.
And secondly,
and happy birthday.
Thank you so much. Secondly, how was your time here, and what did you learn, and what would always stay in your head?
Oh gosh, it's already been so special to see young girls who look like me in this sort of faraway land that is so beautiful, facing issues that I can both relate to and some that I've never had to face in my life. I've never met these girls, but I feel so connected to them. I feel so connected to their stories, to their pain, to their joy. I loved playing soccer with the girls here in Ipanema.
Len was good, I saw.
So was her dad. Your dad's a great goalkeeper.
I was bad. I didn't even go.
Her dad.
I didn't even play. I couldn't play. Yeah, you were good.
But you did kick. I saw you kick.
Yeah, I did try.
I appreciate that. You even had to take off your heels, which I know you didn't like. Malala loves her heels.
I taking off my heels, and I had to.
I don't know.
What can you do when you're walking on sand?
Things that you learn about Malala and spending 4 days with her in beautiful Brazil. She loves her high heels. She loves her fancy lip gloss.
Always.
She also doesn't really enjoy the art of eating. She's not really into the whole sit down and like dine thing. She's like, it's like time consuming. That's what she said.
It is.
The last thing you will learn about Malala if you were able to be on this trip with us is that she is a magician. She legit has magic tricks up her sleeve.
Yeah, I can do a few, magic tricks with cards and things. So, yeah, hidden talent.
No big deal. Dust your shoulders off. Just pop your collar. No, but she's really good at magic tricks. I'm still like in my head trying to figure out how you did that the first night. I'm a little spooked, to be honest.
That's magic.
Yeah, it is magic. Could you teach me? Will you teach me?
What would I get in return? So, I'm already on Twitter, joining Instagram.
Congratulations, everybody! Let's welcome her.
You can follow
to
me
2018
at Malala. Anyway, but yeah, so I would like to hear about your experience and your relationship with social media, and what are the challenges, what are the odds, and what advice do you have in general about social media and using it, especially for raising your voice about the issues that you care about.
Yeah, I think social media is such an incredible tool for expressing your creativity, expressing your point of view with the world, and also connecting with like-minded people. I think this is the best time to be young and empowered and to have something to say because you have a platform. You don't need to wait for a job to come, you don't need to wait for an opportunity. It's at your fingertips, and you can find your tribe, find people that support you and that believe in the things you believe in. And on the flip side, it can also be a scary place where detractors can find you more quickly and hide behind, the safety of a computer screen or a phone screen and just say mean things. And I think, also we have the tendency to compare ourselves to each other, and there's that thing called compare and despair. And there is a reason that we are simultaneously like the most connected we've ever been digitally, and also the most disconnected we've ever been in society. So many young people suffer from depression, anxiety disorders, and I think a lot of that it does stem from that compare and despair. And the bullying that happens with how we engage online. So it's something that needs to be monitored and kept in check. We all need to self-check ourselves, and I think we need to be as diligent and intentional about building communities in real life as we are building communities online.
Yes. So I have met many young girls at refugee camps. And most often, when I ask girls what they want to be when they grow up, and most of them say that they want to be journalists.
Really?
So, what advice?
There's hope.
Yes.
There's hope for the world.
There is hope. And so what advice would you give to all those young girls who want to become journalists? Because, you were...
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many things I could say. I think the most important thing would be, well, there's a few. I would say to never stop being curious. I would say to remember that there's no shortcuts. You have to study the craft and really hone your writing skills. I think in this day and age when social media, everything, they see instant fame, and I think, or, bloggers or influencers who have amassed huge audiences and maybe haven't taken a single journalism class. That could happen, but for the majority of students, you have to learn the craft.
There are, spaces and where women don't think that it's for them. That they're traditionally taken by men, when it comes to like the role of CEO or, corporate jobs or politics.
Sure.
And, so what advice would you give to young girls and women who don't consider like certain traditional spaces that are usually for men, that it's meant for them, and how would you encourage them to consider those and go for them?
Yeah. It is not
You are
easy.
an example, you are a role model. Yes.
As are you, and it's not easy, right? It's not easy to be the first, to be the only, to do something. But here's what I would say. No matter how isolated you might feel, how alone you might feel, how alone you might actually be, you are not alone. You stand on the shoulders of generations of women who have come before you and have suffered and fought for you to have the opportunity that you have. And you enter every room with your ancestors. And every time you have an opportunity to speak up, you're not just speaking for yourself, you're speaking for communities of girls who've been underrepresented for far too long. And so you silencing yourself is silencing them. And I hope that if you keep that in the front of your mind, it makes it a little less scary. And I hope that when people remember that there are so many people counting on them, it gives them the courage to really own their God-given authority. And what happens when you do that is you give everyone around you the permission to do the same. And that's leadership. Yeah. That's leadership. That was so fun.
Thank you.
Malala TV, right here. You heard it first. This is the first exclusive from Malala.
Yes, my first Q&A.
Stay tuned.
Thank you.